I'd just like to welcome everybody to the head and side of our drills. We have some different drills that we'd just like to show you and hopefully that help you a lot. And I just wanted to simply go through the groundwork of it. Like right here, what you're actually seeing, that purple bucket is just a point of reference. The distance that I'm standing back from the side kick right here is what I would call a lay-in. For the most consistent shot, it's just like a basketball player doing a lay-in. You can do a lay-in 100 times in a row. And where I'm standing right there, you know, if I'm concentrated in my zone, I should be able to catch that 100% of the time. That's just such an easy shot. So right here, this helps you to judge your distance, know your position to ride your horse to. So it's really good to stand there and work on your swing and delivery. Where is the place that you can catch 100% of your cattle? Where is your most consistent shot? Is it closer than that? Is it a little bit further back than that? I recommend that distance right there. That's what we call running to the hip. Now, what you can see is you see my left foot forward a little bit, which is just simply a way for me to be balanced really good. And it also helps promote you to keep your left shoulder a little bit forward and your right shoulder back a little bit, which produces a real athletic position in the saddle, one where you have a lot of extension and power out of it. Just looking at somebody's body posture, I can pretty much tell if they have a lot of power on their swing or a weak posture. So right now I'm trying to show you that that's a strong posture right there. Now we're going to go into our swing, going to start running it, but you can see I'm just trying to take the same swing every time, elevated about a foot over that right horn and just a little bit to the outside of that right horn. We want to set our swing and our angle and everything up to where we don't have to change from our last swing to our delivery. That's the key to consistency, is your swing matching your delivery. So right here I'm trying to create a swing to where I don't have to change anything but just deliver to my target. So this helps me to isolate that one thing only, just working on my swing and delivery. So what you're seeing there too with my left hand is I'm finishing with my left hand up to where I'm not turning my horse off, and I'm pulling the slack out between my hands so that I can get my slack sharp and tight. The more you do that, the less times you're going to hit that steer on a slack rope. We want that rope pretty tight every single time. I've already talked to everybody here about not pulling that inside coil out of their hand, but yet squeezing with their left hand and pulling the slack out with their right hand. Like our right hand, in a sense, is a pulley that just slides the rope and we get it tight instead of pulling that extra 3 feet out by pulling the inside coil out. These are all things that we teach at our clinics. We're going to move on to the next step, and that's literally me having everybody walk right into position first, where we can start working on a methodical order in our mind: position, swing, delivery. So on purpose, I literally just walked into position, and when I knew I was exactly in the right spot, then I picked up my swing. Then I went ahead and roped the side kick. And you're going to see Tyler do the same thing: position, swing, and then delivery, of course. We want to teach our mind to work in that methodical order. You have to score, ride, rope. And you know, all the best headers in the world will tell you that sometimes they get that out of order and they get to thinking about roping before they think about scoring or riding their horse. So this is just a really good way to create a good solid foundation in your head, and to where when we transition onto the horse, it's literally going to help us ride our horse. This is a good shot of showing how Peggy's walking up to her position, getting her swing right, and then roping it, getting the slack out tight. This is also a great view. We might watch this a couple times, matter of fact, to show Tyler's shoulder, his elbow, and his hand. That, in a sense, to me, is the mechanics of a swing. Where a person's shoulder is, where your elbow is, and your hand. You can note that Tyler's elbow's down a little bit, and his hand is a little bit on the outside of his elbow. that allows him to come back and reach if he wants to, or he can also rope across the horns. It's a very fundamental swing, but you do notice that he's elbows down. And a lot of what I see too many new ropers do is they try to get their elbow up. They hear somebody say to keep their elbow up. But if you watch each one of us here, we have our elbow down and our forearm is going around our elbow, and that just allows us to rope across the horns if we want to, or just come back and rope both horns at the same time. It's just a very user-friendly swing. The reason that we are swinging a little bit down on the right, which looks a little bit sidearm to some of you, is that helps us to never miss that right horn. That bottom of our loop is down on the right, and it's so easy to catch that right horn when we deliver, so all we have to do is just come across a little bit and it catches that left horn. It's, again, a real user-friendly style of roping. Okay, we'll move on to our next step, and it's literally just starting to swing our rope and walk into the exact same spot. It's just like I'm riding my horse right to my spot. I'm going to be ready when I get there, and I'm really confident on riding my horse exactly where he needs to be. Your horse doesn't know where to go, so you have to train him. If you don't know where that exact circle is to put them front feet in, how's your horse ever going to know that? So we have to learn to, by doing this, we're walking up there and stopping, and that'd be just like riding your horse into position and relaxing your legs and letting him ride off right there. So this, again, is making application to a real run. Tyler does a really good job of putting speed on his rope, and I've been trying to pass this on to a lot of people that I help at the schools, but everybody has a speed of swing where they rope their best. Like Clay Tryon has a real aggressive swing. I call it 15 miles an hour. It's just a number, but it's a very aggressive swing that matches the stride of his horse, and he can get a lot of speed on his rope, power on his rope, and he just doesn't vary from that. It's the same speed every time, and he ropes slow steers, medium steers, and fast steers, like really good out of that same speed swing. I would encourage some of you to work on finding that speed that matches your horse's stride and you're the most consistent out of. Most people that I help swing too slow, in my opinion, so I try to have them get a little bit more aggressive with their swing. And you can tell, like Peggy's roped a long time, and for a lady, she's one of the top lady ropers, and she's been working on even more power and speed on her rope, which is helping her speed her roping up a little bit. So our hopes is that you'll watch these videos, and not only see the visual part of it, which, creates just a good image of what you're trying to do at your practice program, but with me explaining and trying to coach and teach you along the way, our hopes is that you'll create a really solid foundation in your roping. Because when you do have that, then that's where consistency comes from, and then we can try to execute everything as perfectly as we can, and then just keep speeding up and speeding up and speeding up. Obviously everybody knows this, but we try to be as fast as we can without missing. But when you're early on in your roping career, you need to mostly think about consistency and forget about speed for a little while. The speed will come, and that's probably the biggest mistake I see people make, is they worry about speed and not consistency. So you want to always have that goal to, rope a little faster, a little faster, a little faster, but without missing. It's 4 in a row that wins at the ropings, not 3 out of 4 or one fast run out of 4. It's only 100% that allows you to go win these jackpots.